Thank you again for the invitation to participate in this very important conversation. So the question is the threatening sanctions enough? I think we have gone past the point of questioning if the threatening the sanctions is enough. I think there needs to be concrete movements, not only in Europe but within the United States, to hold the Israeli government accountable for the actions of the past year and a half. It is so unfortunate that we have been watching a genocide unfold, and there are world leaders and partners that could have quick effects on making having these things stopped immediately, but instead the Israeli government continues to garner support to allow the genocide to continue to take place. The UN had a report in 2012, this 11 years prior to the start of this current genocide. And it said if the conditions within Gaza did not improve by the year 2020, then Gaza would be uninhabitable. So that was a report many years ago, and the things have not improved. And in fact, they have changed drastically. The conditions within Gaza, we are seeing not only the constant attacks on civilians, but now we're seeing starvation being used as a weapon of war. The pictures that are coming out of Gaza of the people that are basically they're starved to the point where they're skin and bones. It looks like it's very reminiscent of seeing the pictures that were coming out of the concentration camps at the end of World War II. So the United States and the European Union, I think, have a responsibility to not only threaten sanctions, but start to implement them and hold the Israeli government accountable, especially here in the United States. Prior to October 7th, the U.S. government was allowing $3.8 billion of aid, mostly in the form of military aid, for the Israeli government. And now with this current genocide, we see what is happening, and it's unfolding in real time in front of our eyes, thanks to social media. We don't have to rely on the information that is filtered by the media. We are watching through social media as it's happening, and it's unfolding in real time. But the U.S. government, instead of stopping the aid, what do? They are rewarding basically the Israeli government with even more funding. There have been numerous reports that show that the U.S. weapons have been used in the airstrikes that have taken place in Gaza. And it's really hard to, as an American, to wrap your head around it, that these weapons, we're giving the Israeli government some of the most sophisticated weapons and, technology, and they can't determine which is a military target versus a hospital or a refugee camp or a school. Like, these are the places that they're targeting and they have the most sophisticated weapons, and they're using them to target civilians. So I think that we definitely need to step up and hold them responsible. In the United States, there are laws that are set in place to hold different nations accountable. We have the Foreign Assistance Act of 1961. Along with Leahy laws that prohibits the U.S. State Department and the Department of Defense from providing military assistance to any foreign security force units that violate human rights laws with impunity. And that's basically what we've watched happen. So at this point, like I said, we're beyond threatening sanctions. I think we need to put basically, put our, figuratively foot down to make sure that these the put forth the sanctions to make sure they are in place, and so this will basically end, and then also to make sure that humanitarian aid is allowed into the region without any type of delay. Amnesty International, in their apartheid report from 2022, stated that within the Gaza Strip, the Israeli government used mathematical formulas to determine how many calories an individual needs to survive, not to live or thrive, but just simply to survive. And that times the amount of the population, that's the amount of aid that was being let into the Gaza Strip. And this was all prior to October 7th. So you can just imagine how horrid the conditions are now, because the aid has been completely cut off for the past 2 months. So I understand that there's some aid that is slowly starting to trickle in, but definitely not enough. So yes, we have to go beyond just the threats of sanctions and start really holding the Israeli government accountable for their actions.